Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me again in part two of our 8-part series where I'm helping you use some principles and philosophies of Renaissance methodology to kickstart yourself, take control of things in the perilous situation we find our economy and ourselves in at this point in time. So, quick recap. I'm David Rose, founder and CEO of C-Level Global and a serial entrepreneur, amongst a few other things, such as a speaker and an author. But aside from that, what's important is helping you right now. So in part one, we talked about re-engineering your plan, and I gave you some homework. And I know you did that homework where you created your bullet point plan, no more than a paragraph per bullet, a page, no more than 2 or 3 pages. So you have that in hand. Now we're on to part two, which is energizing. So, energy. What is energy? Well, energy is the strength and vitality for sustaining physical and mental activities. And that's what we're talking about. Energizing in part two of the 8 parts is where you energize yourself, your people, if you have people, employees or staff, and if you don't, you still have a marketplace, prospects and customers, and advisors and family and friends. So energizing is important, not just for yourself, but for all the stakeholders that you do have. This is where you want to get them involved in the plan, get them engaged in buy-in, and have them as well as yourself incorporate in the innovation process. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on these steps. So you're going to begin immediately after you watch this video. So first, bring together your stakeholders. This is where you're going to announce the plan that you've already developed or that you're about to finish up if you haven't, and get your homework done after this video. You're going to announce that plan. You're going to exude your confident leadership and your commitment to shaking up yourself and the organization to make the new beginnings. It's not always about change. It might be more about new beginnings in the way you phrase the plan. So the commitment you have to this. And this is where you're going to allow others to have that buy-in and engage. And it's also a very important time. You're going to use this time to assess the people around you, the stakeholders, and figure out who, which we'll be talking about in the next part, who your champions will be. You'll find out who's resistant, who's not, who's really helping, who's engaged. And this is very important for continuing on with the plan. So I want you to go ahead and think about announcing this, because when you announce it, you're also committing yourself to the results, and that's key, as well as getting others involved to help you bring about the results, and that's key for manifesting these goals and objectives you made in the plan. So you're going to send out the announcement that you're going to have a meeting. That's where you're going to get started next for part two. Whatever that takes, call them on the phone, send an email, but set the meeting to announce this. And in that, I want you to give 2 homework assignments that you'll do and your stakeholders will do as well. First, an individual team assignment, which is where I want you to ask them to draft all the innovation they'd like to see moving forward to help this plan manifest. That's about innovation. That's an individual assignment for each stakeholder and yourself. You'll put a time limit on this. You'll give them 3 days to pull this together. The second assignment is I want you to group the stakeholders into teams. Whatever those appropriate teams may be, you decide. And in this, I want you to provide them with the task of, in their groups, coming up with 5 opportunities and 5 barriers to what could occur or what you could harness as energy and energize in the plan. And again, they'll have 3 days to come back and build on this. Now here's the key. When you look at the barriers or people start coming up with objections, things that may crash the plan or why your plan might not be so rational, don't focus on that. I believe Confucius, as he put it, something along the lines of when it's obvious that your goals won't be reached, don't change your goals. Change the steps and the actions to reach those goals. So don't lose sight of your plan and don't allow others to deter you or change that plan. It's just the actions that matter. So this is what you're going to do to energize. So I want you to get ready to go do that. And then you'll join me again tomorrow in part 3 of the 8-part series, which is re-engineering the plan, energizing the people and yourself we just talked about. Tomorrow we'll be nominating the champions, and we'll talk about applying the integrated selling service, accelerating the plan, negating the barriers, the communication you have to set up, and how you'll evolve through metrics. So stay positive. Things are going to get way better for you, and we're going to emerge out of the tough times, and you'll be in a stronger position than ever before. I'm excited for you. Go get it. Take care.